Welcome back to another Midlife Men's Mindset little video. Today I'm out in my favourite kind of bookend of the week, which is a golf course. I'm actually not playing golf, I am on a little run. But the theme of the post today is doing this, being afraid of public speaking, or just having a lack of confidence on it, or just not knowing where to start. Well, of course, the best thing is just to start and see how it goes and not be afraid of the consequences. But for me, a really good way of developing this habit was going to Toastmasters. Never heard of Toastmasters before. It's an international way of learning the habit of public speaking. There's about 300,000 members across the world, and you'll probably find a Toastmasters near you. It all sounds a bit kind of stuffy, doesn't it? I would have this thought process of people in red coats and buckled shoes and frilly shirts going, oh yay, oh yay, but actually that's not what it's about at all. This is the principle of developing your habit and ability to speak in public. And it gives you lots of really clever things, like maybe the power of three, where you speak with confidence, clarity, conviction, and many other things. The average Toastmaster meeting normally happens on an evening. Ours happens on a first and third Wednesday of the month from 7 till 9 at a local hotel, pub, that kind of stuff. And there's a fixed agenda, and there's normally two speakers, and then the second section of the meeting is all around what we call table topics. There's roles in the meeting, so you have what's called a timekeeper, so everybody is manifested to keep on time. You have a grammarian, where that person gives you a word of the day. You have to try to feed that word into your speeches. And you also have what's called an R counter. The R counter tries to make sure that you pick up on the ways that you fill your pauses. So I might say, you know, like, what, so. And those are all ways for the brain to try to catch up with the mouth. And the art of a good speaker is just to let the pause happen and be comfortable with the pause. This is an R counter. And you have your two speakers. And the great thing about Toastmasters is the speakers then get an evaluation. Somebody who listens to exactly what's happened and then gives you feedback. It's up to you if you want to unwrap it. That's the beauty of feedback. Unwrap it if you want. By the way, David Leckie, nice to see you. Thank you for dialing in. And the feedback meeting is what we call grow and glow. So where do you need to grow and improve in your speaking, and where do you glow? So this week I spoke and came across pretty well. I actually got best speaker, which was nice. And I got some lovely feedback, but I got some really important grow points. Things like perhaps I stood in one place too much and I had a pen in my hand. Why didn't I just drop the pen? And in my 7-word bullet points, I kind of gave the 7 points, but I could have given a bit more meaning to it. And then the great thing about Toastmasters, the second part of the meeting, is you have something called table topics. Table topics, literally you sit there, the table topics master stands up and gives you a theme for the week, and you have to speak on whatever they decide. The idea was that you would try to have your first name, so the first letter of your name, let's say mine was Chris. What could you think beginning with C that you'd like to sell? And literally you have no time, stand up and deliver a minimum of 1 minute speech on that topic. The one I got the other week was, what came first, the colour orange or the fresh fruit orange? And off you go, speak for a minute on that. Anyway, principle to this is that the ability to public speak and put across your words helps you in life, because you could be in the lift. Your boss walks in and says, hey, so Chris, how are you? What's on your agenda this week? And bang, you've got to give an impromptu 30-second pitch back to your boss on what's going on. Or somebody could say, so Bob, what do you do? And rather than coming up with a load of drivel, you've got a really concise, clear method of telling that person exactly what you do. So if you have a fear of doing this live to camera, or a fear of speaking in public, perhaps you've got a best man speech coming up, then I would urge you to go to Toastmasters. Just try it out. It's free for your first meeting. And for me, it costs us £15 a month. £15 a month. And it's the best self-development I could ever wish to imagine. Not only that, you meet some really cool new people that will probably not be in your normal circle of influence. That's me checking out this week in the Midlife Men's Mindset. Have a great weekend. It's a bit wet in the UK at the moment, but that gives something for people to talk about, because we love talking about the weather in the UK. Whatever you're doing, remember, you only have one life.